Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hollywood Matt Connolly with the double biceps. It is in the contract and legal requirement every single time we appear on camera. Ugh. So we just finished up watching the MAC, the Major Arm Wrestling Championship that took place in North America, and what an incredible event! The first event, the inaugural event. So they did a tremendous job overall. They had 6 prelim matches, which were live streamed on YouTube. There was 2 live streams. There was one on Matthias's channel, and there was one on Jake the Aussie Arm Wrestler's channel. So 6 awesome matches that took place there, leading into the pay-per-view event. And we saw a lot of awesome matches that took place on the pay-per-view card as well, including one with Dave Morocco and Josh Bellin and Rick Heydrich, both enormous men. That they looked like they were 7 feet tall. The referee looked like a child when he was strapping these guys up. That their hands were so enormous. There was only like this much left of the strap when he finished tightening it. Fantastic matches. Overall, the card was a success. They were plagued a little bit with some technical issues. We saw a delay in the start time. I had to refresh a whole bunch of times while we were waiting to get that started. They did drop out a few times throughout the event, for probably 5-10 minutes at a time, which is unfortunate because you want these guys to succeed. They're doing the right things in terms of putting all these events together, having amazing athletes, getting everyone there, making the event look great. It sounded great. They had good commentary. They had a great announcer. The visuals looked awesome. They had a different sort of table. And then to get plagued by the offline technical issues, which is always a frustration. And it's one of those things that your production crew that you work with, you'll get better as you go and iron out those sort of problems as they arise. And it's almost like you feel very bad for the promoters because you want these guys to succeed. You want everyone to see their hard work and everything that they've put out in terms of making this event fun and exciting and interesting and different. And then they get let down by technology and it's like, oh man. But overall, it wasn't a massive hindrance. We just waited a couple of times. I was doing our live commentary, so I was chatting to the guys in the chat. No one seemed to be too bothered by it. Everyone understands in those sort of circumstances, if it's your first event, you want to get everything right. And from the arm wrestling side of things, everything went tremendously well. From the streaming side of things, they had some issues. But those issues, hopefully they can iron out for the next event, which I will definitely be watching because I really enjoyed what they put together. One of the massive positives that they had was the fast setups, and they have implemented pretty much every match starts in straps unless you specifically request that the match starts out of straps. And if you request that it starts out of straps, you better not be trying to slip. I love that. I think that's fantastic because so many matches end in slips. Or end in slips. So you get 2 top rollers together, instant slip, and if they're both walking up to the table and you're a top roller, you guys going to start in strap because you're going to slip. And they say, no, I'll try to hold on. And it's like, all right, well, you better not slip. And then as soon as you say go, they both just instantly slip. It's like, why didn't you start in the strap? So they've eliminated that. The flow of the matches was significantly improved because of it. I was amazed actually in some of the speed of how fast these matches started because I was doing the commentary and I would be sort of looking at the comments and I would look back and it's like, oh no, they've started. I'm used to the very long, drawn out setups that we've had to deal with for years. And these were pretty much you put your elbow there, the referee grabs hold of your hand and it's thumbs down, close your hands, go. And it was like, oh, that everyone says they're going to do that, but they actually did it. And we saw hardly any fouls take place as well. I think out of the entire event, I remember maybe a total of 5 or 6 fouls, which is insane. For that many rounds, to go through and to only and one of them was from Heidi, who had 3 elbow fouls in a row. But they've got a different design on their table, which is really interesting. So instead of the normal flat square that you get, or rectangle with a normal table, and then the pin pads being another sort of square on top of that, they had a dip. So the center of the table is dipped in a curve, not as pronounced as what I'm doing there, but it's curved to the point where they've got a flat section in the middle of that, which is 9 by 9, I believe, 9 inches by 9 inches, which is colored red. The rest of the table was black. And that allows you a lot more freedom to move your elbow around in different positions. But the other element was that they said, if you're lifting your elbow, so say the curve of the table is like this, and your area of pulling is here, you have to lift your elbow above the height of where the table starts to curve for it to be classed as an elbow foul. I thought that was fantastic. We did see several times when people's elbows did pop up and they popped straight back down again, and it didn't impact the match, and it didn't get called as an elbow foul, which is fantastic. Keep the match going. You know, I hate seeing matches that get restarted because somebody lifted their elbow a minuscule amount and it didn't impact anything. So to see significant significant lifts on the elbow, or which didn't impact position, not being called, was tremendous. I loved it. It allowed the match to continue going, and it didn't change the outcome. In fact, you know, the people who elbow fouled usually were in a position where they were about to lose, and so it didn't actually make any difference. So I thought that was fantastic. I loved that. Made the matches go quicker as well. There were matches and elbow fouls that did get called that did lift significantly high above the that horizontal line. They got called. Fantastic. And I think they ran with running fouls, because I think Brandon Alcessor got a pin, and then they said, no, that was actually a running foul. We're going to restart it. So rather than stopping the match and restarting everything, they let the match play out. And if Alan Ford had actually got the pin, he would have got the win for that round. But Brandon was the one who had elbow fouled enough that it got called, and then he got the pin, so we get a restart, which is exactly how running fouls should work. It should be, you fouled, continue pulling. You need to win now to get a restart because you've committed a foul. I think that was tremendous. I think that worked out really well. Plus, one match would finish, the next one straight on. One match would finish, the next one straight on. It also seemed they were very tight on their in-between rounds. It was like 60 seconds, and it was like strict. That because it would be like the round would finish, and then I'd start sort of talking to the chat guys, and I'd be like, "Oh, it's back on. They're ready to go again." And I couldn't really sort of sit back and be relaxed while they're getting set up, because these setups are quick. The setups are quick, and they're going to start. So that was fantastic, and we ran through the entire card in a couple of hours, which was, you know, amazing. Normally, if I did that many matches on a live commentary for say East versus West or something, it would have been 7 hours. This was all done and dusted in 2.5, which is a testament to how well things flowed. And that's with the technical dropouts as well. That was the only thing that held them up, was the fact that the stream wasn't working. So was it worth the money? Absolutely. Great job to the guys. The matches were awesome. Alan Ford, Brandon Alcessor on the right arm was a tremendous battle for the main event. And we saw Brandon able to get the victory there. Alan, you can see his veteran table IQ on display. He tried every different technique available. If anyone was going to win that match, it was going to be Alan Ford, because his ability to transition into any position from any position was on full display. But Brandon Alcessor, just too dominant, too strong, able to win the center, and that's what he needed in every single round. He just got enough cup off that center hit every single round that he was able to dominate and hold off Alan's different manipulations of defense that he was trying to implement. But well done to both guys. There was also a fantastic women's match with Jocelyn and Heidi. As we said before, Heidi unfortunately elbow fouling 3 times in the first round, and they did start outside of straps. These ladies, one of the confusing things for me in the event was, and I didn't have the commentary on, so I couldn't hear exactly what they were saying. But every other match, it seemed to be that the athletes would get set up and have hands open, thumbs down, hands closed, start. With the ladies, they were gripped up with their hands closed, and then the referee was sort of lining their wrists up, and they were starting. So a little bit of a different start for the ladies. I don't know why, but maybe they both requested it and they both agreed on it, and they said, "Hey, this is what we want to do," and okay, which is cool. If both athletes are like, "We want to do it this way," sure, let's do it. And so that's what we saw. And yeah, Jocelyn, too strong in the second and third, was able to get a top roll position and drive through to the pen pad. And well done to her. She continues her amazing dominant display in the world of female arm wrestling. She may be pushing for that number 1 in the world spot. And this is just another feather in her cap. Heidi being a veteran and absolutely tremendous female arm wrestler. So well done to both ladies there. And Jocelyn, yeah, maybe on to facing the absolute elite in the world in super matches would be tremendous to see that, to see if she's at that level and maybe make an argument to say she's number 1 in the world at the moment, which is absolutely insane. So such a amazing thing to be able to see her compete. Yeah, amazing matches overall. The card was $14 US, which is about $22, $23 Australian. I think it was worth the money, and I will definitely be watching again in the future. Hats off to Major Arm Wrestling Championship. You did an incredible job. Love the angles, love the way you're pushing these certain rules to make it more entertaining. And that's what I found, that I was enthralled, and I was watching arm wrestling take place pretty much the whole time. They were either setting up to get ready to arm wrestle, or they just finished arm wrestling. So there was none of these long drawn out setups. And actually, one of the things I thought was really good, there was one protest which was resolved within a minute, which was absolutely insane. I didn't even know that it had taken place. Josh Bellin, believe his team, I think, said, "Hey, we don't think that his hand was beneath the height of the pin pad when he got pinned." They made the protest, and the promoter was out of the table within 40 seconds and said, "I've reviewed the footage, and it was actually a pin. So that's the call we're going to go with, and we'll move on to the next round." It was like, that was quick. That was fast. Because, yeah, all I saw was the promoter coming out talking to the guys. I was like, hang on, what's going on here? Oh, there was a protest? Really? Oh, okay. I never already reviewed it. Yeah. Oh, all right. That's awesome. I'm moving on. Tremendous, tremendous. So yeah, the technical issues that they were facing with the stream obviously didn't affect their ability to review review their live footage. So that was a massive bonus. We saw Knuckles Up having issues with that at their event, with it taking such a long time to bring up the video replay. I think over 10 minutes. So for them to get the call reviewed and made the decision and inform both athletes in less than 60 seconds is just it's almost insane. I mean, the speed of this event was incredible. And when you can move through matches that quickly, it gives you such an advantage of being able to put more matches on, or different types of matches, because you're not waiting for 40 minutes to watch two guys have a 3-0 blowout because there was 12 restarts every single round. But well done to you, MAC. I will be watching in the future. I am a fan. Double biceps for you. Thanks for watching.